the Dawghouse, or welcome back to the Dawghouse. My name is Jessica. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos that are not quite like this one. This video is definitely out of the ordinary for me. I don't normally make videos like this, but today we're gonna talk about Brooke Houts and her Doberman Pinscher. Big shout out to Officer Paw Patrol for inspiring me to make this video after watching his take on the situation from the perspective of a animal control officer. It's a great channel, check them out. So let's get into this can of worms. If you aren't familiar with Brooke Houts and her current status as the most hated person on YouTube, let me fill you in. I'll make this brief because most of you are probably already familiar with the story.
A YouTuber named Brooke Houts is currently under investigation by the LAPD for abusing her dog on video.
So Brooke Houts runs, or ran at least, a very recently dog-centric YouTube channel featuring her Doberman Sphinx. Looking through her channel, it seems innocent enough. She was kind of like a beauty slash storytime teller, vlogger, until she got a puppy. And her focus shifted to more like dog related videos because they were doing well. Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't keep doing that? Fast forward to now, Brooke accidentally uploads a unedited version of her and Sphinx doing the invisible wall challenge or saran wrap challenge or whatever it's called. We did it.
It doesn't faze you? Well, as you can tell. Stop!
Unfortunately, we got a harsh look at the sad reality that seems to be behind Brooke's dog videos, and to be honest, probably a lot of other dog videos on YouTube as well. But more on that later. So first things first, let me actually address what's happening in the video. She hits her dog multiple times, apparently spits on him, and then starts screaming at him to lay down. It's definitely hard to watch, absolutely despicable behavior, but it's not exactly dog abuse. I'm sorry if that sounds callous, but as someone that's spent many years in the shelter environment, working in shelters and low-cost clinics, I gotta say, if you think this is what abuse looks like, then you have a very heartbreakingly naive viewpoint of the world. Michael Vick is an animal abuser, and he belongs in prison. Brooke Houts is a idiotic brat who needs a swift kick to the butt, but also just needs lessons to properly care for and train her dog. Saying this is abuse marginalizes actual abuse. I'm not going to say that she shouldn't have that dog because she has that dog. Saying she shouldn't have the dog is a moot point. It's a waste of breath. Besides, Brooke Houts is far from the only person out here that has a dog that they can't handle. Trust me when I say that if you take all the dogs away from every person that is as bad as an owner as Brooke Houts, the number of homeless pets would be staggering. So my take on this video is going to be a constructive one, which will probably be unpopular because currently everybody wants her head on a steak. Instead of frothing at the mouth and calling for her head on a platter, I want to identify the problems and offer solutions. These solutions aren't just for Brooke. They're for everyone. The things we saw in this video is probably way more common than we think. Except maybe the spitting, that's a new one for me. First things first, let's identify the root of the problem. Time for another unpopular opinion? I seem to be full of those today. In my opinion, the root of the problem is not just the lack of obedience training. It's Brooke buying into the myth of purely positive dog training. Force-free, purely positive training, in a nutshell, is essentially where you are ignoring a dog's bad behavior without offering any corrections and rewarding the good behavior. This is the method that Brooke has claimed to use in multiple other videos for her dog's training, and we can all see that it's not very effective. I'm not saying that purely positive dog training can't work for a dog. Some professional dog trainers have the skill set to be successful with some dogs. The problem is most regular dog owners, like Brooke, don't possess the skill set to successfully train their dogs this way. This leads to poorly behaved dogs, which leads to frustrated dog owners. And when you have a dog owner that's as immature as Brooke Houts, that leads to childish outbursts of violence towards a dog that has no idea what's going on. In the video, you can tell this is a very confused dog. Brooke wants Sphinx to play on camera, but immediately wants him to be calm as soon as she needs to speak to the camera. Judging from how fast she loses her temper, I'd say that this exact scenario is pretty common every time the camera comes out. Her problem here isn't that she's trying to correct her dog in an incredibly horrendous way. I mean, that is a problem, but but it's not the problem. The real issue is that she's never taught her dog how to be corrected. You can shout, no, lay down, stop, at your dog until you're blue in the face. But unless your dog knows what these words mean, you are literally wasting your breath. And guess what? Purely positive force-free dog training not only doesn't teach you how to correct your dog, but it demonizes as simple of a word as no. Brooke Houts is a perfect example of why purely positive dog training is not a realistic option for dog owners. My dogs go from high-level energy indoor play to calm with just a word. Purely positive ideology will never give you, the dog owner, that kind of power or tools to achieve this. In Brooke's joke of an apology letter, she claims that her dog can't attend group classes and needs one-on-one training, which is supposed to be more expensive. It's the lamest excuse ever. I find it almost impossible to believe that somebody with over 300,000 subscribers is unaware of the 100% free resources available right here on YouTube. Sure, there's a lot of bad dog training advice on YouTube, but it's up to the dog owner to do that research and start to learn the difference between the two. And for Brooke, and for anybody else that's out there watching this, that's interested, I will link down below some of the names and channels here on YouTube that I recommend most of the time when I am approached with a lot of dog training advice. And just, it's not even training advice, it's dog owning advice. That's what I want to give, is dog owning advice. Again, this is free YouTube. It's free stuff on YouTube. To me, it's all about opening a clear line of communication between you and your dog, and it's painfully obvious that Brooke and Sphinx have zero communication. Brooke Houts has a chance of redemption here, and I think that she should be given that chance. I'm not saying that she deserves this chance, but this isn't about what Brooke doesn't deserve. This is about what's best for this dog and other dogs that are in similar situations. I know watching the video of Brooke hit her dog can trigger an incredibly strong emotional response, but we can't ignore the forest for the trees. And that's why I think Brooke should keep Sphinx and be given the chance to do better. This video is one small example of behavior that is incredibly common among uneducated dog owners. And since it's an incredibly high profile example, of course it'd be super easy to find her dog Sphinx a new loving home. He's got no lack of offers, including one of my favorite YouTubers, H3H3, who has even offered to buy Sphinx from Brooke.
Because me and Ela are thinking about getting another dog anyway. So I tweeted at her, said, I'm in LA because I saw she lives in LA, and I will literally buy your dog from you, name any price. He really needs a new home. And I was 100% serious.
But guess what? Not every dog has those kinds of opportunities. And to think that we can just rehome all the dogs that are in these kind of situations is super unrealistic. I know that I'm going to catch hate for this, but I'm standing my ground here. Taking Sphinx away from Brooke without giving her the chance to fix it would set a very dangerous precedent. There are hundreds of other YouTube videos screaming for her to have her dog taken away, but these people making these demands are incredibly short-sighted. Imagine a world where every dog in this situation was taken away from their owners. I've worked in shelters. I was a euthanasia tech at shelters. Trust me, that the shelters are already overflowing with pets that need homes. Just because Sphinx can easily find a new home doesn't mean all these other animals could. I know they couldn't. A lot of people that work in the shelter business could tell you the same thing. And to think that we can solve this problem that way is setting a horrible example. Brooke Houts has a chance to set a good example here. There wasn't really anything happening in that video that couldn't have been solved with a few solid training techniques. Instead of calling for her head, we should be encouraging Brooke to seek help and some training to fix these problems and showing other dog owners what is possible. She has the platform to do that. I feel that it's a part of our responsibility when we have a platform like this. Again, I know I'm gonna get massive hate for this stance, but you have to look at the bigger picture. At the end of the day, if she can admit that she's just not able to handle this kind of dog, then okay, then I think I would commend her for rehoming the dog, but I would also definitely commend her for trying her hardest to redeem herself here and seeking the help. So that's about where I'm gonna leave off on this one. I really hope that Brooke and Sphinx get the help that they need and that they are able to do some good instead of just being yet another bad example. Don't forget to like this video because I'm pretty sure it's gonna get a ton of dislikes. And if you like my viewpoint, share this video. Let's work on constructive solutions instead of knee-jerk reactions. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next time on the Dawghouse, hopefully in a much less serious video. What are you doing? You're like falling asleep. You're falling asleep. Okay, goodbye. Dog people are dope.